What is up? KBD here, and welcome to the first ever video on the channel. And as you can tell by the title and the background right behind me is that for this video, I will be giving you my predictions for the upcoming NFL season.
So what I did was I created a model to predict the record or how many games this season each team will win, and there are many variables that go towards that model, which I will cover more in this video. So let's get straight to it.
The equation that I use in my model is called the Pythagorean expectation. And what this equation does is that it predicts the amount of games a team will win in a season based off of the total amount of points that they score, along with the total amount of points they allow in that same season. So how I predicted the total amount of points that a team will score is based off of the total amount of yards that they accumulate in that season, as it has a very high correlation with the total amount of points scored. And using this equation, this linear equation right here, I predicted the total amount of points each team will score. Now, before we get into the win predictions for each division, I will say there were a lot of surprises that I found when I ran my model. So if you see your team on here and you're thinking, "Oh, what is this? This can't be right," just feel free to let some steam out in the comments. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time.
We first start off with the AFC East, with the top team being the Buffalo Bills. Along with having the most yards on offense, along with the most points scored, and allowing the fewest points in the league projected, I have them as the best team in the league with 13 wins. Next up, we got the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a much improved team, and I have them winning 10 games, along with a big improvement in yards on offense. Then we have the Patriots with 8 wins, a team with a lot of uncertainty. I see a little bit of regression for them. And then we have the Jets with 6 wins, with the most points allowed in the league and the worst defense. So for the AFC South, I have the Colts and the Titans both at 10 wins. The Colts, of course, are led by the leader in all-purpose yards from a year ago, Jonathan Taylor, and they also have a solid defense. For the Titans, we can expect more rushes for Derrick Henry now that A.J. Brown is no longer there. And also, look out for Derrick Henry to have a comeback year after missing a good portion of last year with injury. Then we come to probably a very surprising team, according to this model, would be the Jags, having them at 8 wins. Now, honestly, initially I saw this as an overshoot, and keep in mind that all the win totals are rounded up to the nearest whole numbers, so I had to actually recalculate this total to see if it was correct, and it actually was. So just keep that in mind and just be on the lookout for them. They could be surprising this year. And then we have the Texans with the projected 4 wins, bottom of the league, and a rebuilding team that is just looking towards the future. Let's dive into the AFC North. We have the Ravens with 12 wins, a team that is also expected to have a bounce-back year after an injury-riddled campaign after last year. They are expected to have the second most yards and points total in the league this year, along with a very strong defense that's in the top 5. Then we have the Bengals, the defending runner-ups in the Super Bowl, with 9 wins, but I can also see them going with 10 wins because they have a lot of talent coming back from last year, so they'll still be good. Then we have the Browns, with Deshaun Watson being suspended for the first 11 games, will be looking to lean on a strong running game with Nick Chubb and a strong defense. And I have them with the same win total from last year with 8 wins, as there's a lot of uncertainty going into this year for them. And for Pittsburgh, they are projected 7 wins. The post-Big Ben era begins for them. Next up, we got the AFC West, aka the best division in football right now. And on top of it, we got the Chiefs with 11 wins, with Patrick Mahomes and his ability to make receivers around him better. We then have the Chargers and the Broncos both with 10 wins each. For the Chargers, who already had a great offense going into this year, now have a better defense with picking up Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson during the offseason. So what's important for the Chargers now is that they win games that they need to win and not lose to teams that you think they beat, like, for example, the Texans. As for the Broncos, after 5 years of a QB carousel, still trying to figure out that position, they finally got their guy with Russell Wilson, and their team is complete. And then last, but certainly not least as a team overall, we have the Raiders with 9 wins. Their main headline is a stacked receiving core led by Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow, 2,000-yard-plus receivers from a year ago. In the NFC East, we start off with the Eagles with a projected 11 wins. The Eagles improved their passing offense this offseason with the addition of A.J. Brown, adding it to a top rushing offense and an already solid defense. The Cowboys, who a year ago had the league's top scoring offense with 31 points a game and 530 points scored in total, are projected to have 10 wins this year. And then we got the Commanders and Giants with 7 wins, with the Giants having an improved defense coming into this year. In the NFC South, we, as many people would probably think, we have the Bucks at the top with 11 wins. The Bucks, who were known for their top receiving core, just added more depth with Julio Jones, who, when healthy, is a beast. We then have the Saints with the projected 7 wins, even though 8 or 9 wins is very realistic for them, as they have a top defense along with it, and they get Jameis Winston back. Then we have the Panthers and the Falcons, both with 6 wins. For the Panthers, the main headline is, which Baker Mayfield are we going to see? Like, are we going to see rookie season Baker Mayfield or the not so good Baker Mayfield? Because when playing more consistently, he has shown that he could be a good quarterback, and he definitely has the weapons to do it in Carolina. So that'll be interesting to see. Now with the NFC North, this would be a good time to mention that I am actually a Packers fan, and when I finished my model, I wanted to right away see how many games it would predict the Packers to win, and it predicted 10 games, even though I do see it more as like 11 wins, but hey, 10 wins ain't bad either, so yeah. The main storyline for us is that how fast can the young receivers develop and how good can they be to go along with a top defense. Then we have the Vikings also with 10 wins. The Vikings, of course, will be known for their offensive firepower with Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, and Justin Jefferson, one of the top leading receivers from a year ago. And then we have the Lions and the Bears, both projected to have 7 wins. Finally, we got the NFC West, and we start off with the defending Super Bowl champion Rams, who are projected to have 11 wins. The Rams had a pretty productive offseason with extending Cooper Kupp and retaining Matthew Stafford, retaining Aaron Donald, and signing Bobby Wagner. So they just made their team a lot better with those moves. And then we have the Niners winning 11 games this year. The Niners have been always known for their top defense in the last 3 years, but the main storyline here is that how quickly can Trey Lance develop as a passer, and how good can he be as an overall quarterback? Then we got the Cardinals, a projected 9 wins. The biggest storyline for them is the suspension of DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 games of the season, but hey, it's a good thing they picked up Hollywood Brown during draft day, and they got James Conner, who was a scoring machine a year ago. So those are some weapons that they have in the arsenal for now. And then lastly, we have the rebuilding Seahawks, who are projected to have 6 wins this year. Like every rebuilding team, they're just looking to the future right now. All right, so that is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.